Hey everyone, this week I'm checking out Dino Frontier, which is an older PSVR title from summer 2017. Developer of this game, Uber, is probably best known for the PC game Planetary Annihilation, and had also originally released Wayward Sky as a PlayStation launch title, which saw some decent reviews. So they followed up the next year with this game. You are the big mayor of a frontier-style western town, which is also incidentally inhabited by dinosaurs of all types. Fortunately, they can be trained and used to help you perform tasks in your town.
I love my dino, I really do. I love my dino way more than I love you.
In Dino Frontier, the PlayStation Move controllers become your hands and you start to build your town, and you do quite literally build them. A giant wooden mallet appears and you just tap on the buildings to create them.
Workout.
With your hands, you can also pick up settlers and place them on tasks such as foraging for food or even trying to stun dinosaurs to capture them. You can also pick up your townspeople and throw them across the lands, which luckily doesn't seem to hurt them. I found it a fun and quick way to move them around the landscape. On your left hand, you also have a very convenient watch, which is the way you keep track of objectives as well as how many resources you've collected. As you're playing in VR, you have lots of different views to play in, such as the traditional top-down sim where you can see everything at once, but you can also zoom right in and see what individual followers are up to. Dino Frontier does seem to be a simplified version of a lot of simulation games, as you don't ever get a huge amount of settlers, so even with the captured dinosaurs, you're not likely to go over about 20 people, animals to micromanage. You can also only ever have one of each dinosaur, so for instance, if I wanted to collect more wood to build something like in my objective, and one such dinosaur skill is to collect lumber, it would have been really nice to be able to have more of those dinosaurs to get my task done quicker. Similar goes for the buildings. You can only have one of each type, and the game suggests when you should build it. You do get to place it where you like, but this seems to have little to no effect on the game, considering how much space you have to play with. Buildings can be upgraded to allow more settlers to use it at once, but most of them only have one or two upgrades. Further on in the game, you can build the Mayor's Retreat, which is like a placid garden where you can grow vegetables yourself rather than using your followers, and relax from the difficult duties of mayoring. Oh, and there's also dynamite to mine, so maybe not so relaxing after all. Another far cooler part of the game that opens up is an old abandoned mine, which you can mount expeditions to mine valuable metals. But unfortunately, this is also where you meet your mortal enemy, the Bandit King, and his legion of dinosaurs under his control, and they want to get the materials for themselves. There are defence equipment that you can start to build up and upgrade to help you stay in the mine for longer, surviving the many waves of different dinosaurs and bandits. The abandoned mine is where I found myself wanting to spend more and more time. The elements of resource collecting along with the tower defence element made it really fun. My town beyond the mine generally always felt safe. Occasionally gangs of bandits would attack, but the game gives you fair warning, so you can just chuck some high fighter level settlers towards them and they sort it out. Sometimes becoming injured in the process, but it's easy to heal them in your hospital. It's not quite completely passive. I did occasionally wander off and leave the PSVR on, thinking I'm just kind of collect more resources like you do. Well, this backfired as I came back to it and all my settlers were dead from bandit attacks and half my dinosaurs had been attacked by bigger dinosaurs. So I was kind of back to square one. The game does give you new settlers, but their skills are completely reset to zero. The graphics are cartoonish and perfectly fit that mishmash of Wild West and prehistoric dinosaurs. When you zoom in, you can see all the details on the buildings and the dinosaurs. As you control the town, you're given helpful advice from a funny narrator who occasionally throws out a pretty cheesy joke, but also alerts you to the next stages in the game. The VR itself, however, seems nearly redundant. I did enjoy the changing the view, but it was kind of gimmicky. In most sim games, those super zoomed in views are mostly used for screenshots, and you end up using the top-down view to make sure you're in control of everything. So this is how I played 80% of the game. The disadvantages are also larger too. Firstly, being in VR meant I was less inclined to play for longer sessions, even when I really wanted to continue. But the biggest problem is the Move controllers simply aren't built to play sim games. The lack of analog sticks is apparent here, and while picking people up and moving them is simple, endlessly dragging the environment around to reposition the world becomes just a pain. The game comes to an abrupt end with a mission to defeat the Bandit King once and for all, about 4 or 5 hours in, which is a cool end, but then the game is over. It's really rare to see a sim game like this finish. I'd go as far as to say it felt like the money just suddenly ran out during development. With no free mode and no scenarios on offer to extend the game, the £30 price tag is steep compared to most sim games. And if the extra cost is for that VR experience, you don't gain much here. Despite that, it is a fun game and it does something different with its theme, and I enjoyed the time I spent with it. I'd recommend picking it up on sale or on a discount if you're looking for something a little bit different. So thank you for watching, and remember to like, comment and subscribe. Bye!